Good morning to all my friends and family, and welcome to this episode of Jim's 5am Club. It's Friday morning. I've just popped off the train here at Circular Quay, and it's a very, very still morning. The rain has stopped, and it looks like the rain may have gone away for a few hours. Because I can see a star. Don't know if you can see it there in the screen, but I can see a star. I can see 2 or 3 stars. It's a bit of cloud. The breeze is coming from the east, and we're almost at the weekend. So thank you very much for joining me. What we'll do is we'll go on a walk and talk. And what I'll do this morning is take you through another book summary. We're just hammering these book summaries now. And today I'm well over 900 vlogs and on my way to achieving my 1,000 vlog dream and leaving at least a legacy for the people around me that I love. So this book that we're going to go through today is entitled Girl, Stop Apologising. And as you can probably understand, it's written by a woman, for women, but of course men can gain from this text, as the messages are universal. But a powerful book indeed. So where do we start? Let's start with a quote from the author. And the author kicks off her book with a wonderful quote where she announces boldly and loudly that a goal is a dream with its work boots on. So a goal is a dream with its work boots on, which kind of suggests that if we want to achieve the dreams in our lives, then we're going to have to start doing things to try and get us there. Anyway, the moon's just popped out as well, which is further evidence that we may have a clear morning. I've been rained off work for the past couple of days because of the inclement conditions. So I guess it's refreshing to know that we're not going to get drenched today. I had to buy some new work boots yesterday because the other ones I was wearing were soaked all the way through because of the inclement weather. So where does this book take us? Let's go on a bit of a journey, and we'll kick off with the first message, which is basically saying that having a lot of ambition to do great things shouldn't be a reason women have to apologise. And as I've said in a couple of other posts that I've done, that apologising is so unsexy. You know, when you've got people apologising all the time, it is a bit of a turn off. So I think we'll just kick off and just make that point as well, that especially here in Australia, and I guess it's probably from our English background, the sense of apologising and over-apologising is taken to an extreme. But also, when you're apologising and saying that you're sorry when you really aren't sorry, is also a bit of an insult to our intelligence and humanity. So I guess the first call to action is to woman up, to boob up, and to stop overly apologising for being who you are or for being who you want to be, and just to get on with life and don't think too much about it. The author then goes on to talk about the fact that many women neglect what they really want because they worry far too much about what others think about them. I think we've all been there. It's all part of our growing up. I know that in our Greek culture, Titha Puriali, what will others think, what will others say, is a common catch cry that families have. Mothers, uncles, aunts, grandparents are always worried, always expressing Titha Pio Cosmos. What are people going to say once they find out that you are doing what you're doing? So that's one of the first hurdles that we need to, I guess, identify first, and then we can address through some actions. But worrying about what other people think isn't going to get you where you want to be or where you need to be in order to fulfill your magnificent dreams. As you can see, the harbour is flat. Look at those lights. Look at the light glistening off the water, and it's also high tide, which means that the jetties, the wharfs, have been lifted because they are variable in their height. They're lifted and they're all level now. So let's continue our walk and talk and see what else we can take from this wonderful book, from this wonderful author. The author then goes on to say something which is also really, really powerful, that growing up as toddlers, we all learned attention-seeking behaviours. Behaviours that we take throughout our lives, because as toddlers, we were rewarded by getting people's attention, and that attention was, I guess, attracted through either crying, whinging, and being a pest, or through smiling, laughter, and just being lovable, I guess, is the best way of putting it. So we've learned these behaviours and we've been rewarded for these behaviours, rightly or wrongly. I'm not saying it's all good, over the years. And these learned behaviours we take into our adulthoods. So many of our actions when we grow up and become adults are predicated upon how others around us respond. But we need to A, understand that, but B, learn how to leverage it. And as the author says, as children, we learnt to put ourselves first, and as adults, we need to continue to leverage that and put ourselves first, and not have to apologise for it in any way, shape or form. Because we live in a society where men are encouraged to chase their dreams, whereas for many, many years or many generations now, women haven't been afforded the same sort of encouragement, so to speak. But it's time to take it upon yourself, encourage yourself, and don't be a victim of that negative or those issues that have generated over time. What the author here says basically is that nobody should succumb to the pressure of OPE. And OPE is other people's, could be other people's experiences, but it's also other people's expectations. So not to succumb to other people's expectations, but to leverage your own view of yourself, and to basically have empowering expectations which are going to allow you to grow, develop, and achieve the dreams that you have. Because at the end of the day, other people's expectations can be valid, but in most of the time they're invalid, because not very many people truly know who you are. Certainly not too many people care who we are, and their view of us isn't all that empowering, I guess, is the best way of saying it, because everybody has an agenda, and of course that agenda is to maximise what they get in life, not necessarily to maximise what you're able to get out of your life. So we need to be careful with who we open up to and who we surround ourselves with, because there are people who are going to be draining us of our ambition and our dreams. So the author then goes on to say that it's okay. It's okay to have a dream that is different and doesn't align with what other women or people want of you. At the end of the day, it's your life. Your life, your responsibility, your accountability, and it's up to you to get what you want. It's your birthright at the end of the day. So the next major point to come out of this book here is that we need to move forward towards achieving our goals, and it starts, and this is a really powerful point, it starts with us, and it starts with us stopping making excuses. So the big call to action from this author is to cease the excuses. And there are lots of people who have got an excuse for everything, especially women. Now, one thing that I've noticed over the years is that women are really, really good at coming up with excuses. And they'll have every excuse in the book, and they'll just have unique and excuses which never end. But we all need, women and men, to make time for things, people, events that matter most to us. So get rid of the excuses that I don't have what it takes, because this is a sign of gross insecurity that comes from being teased in the past, or some failure that you continue to dwell on. So I guess the point that the author wants to make here is that we all need to start examining the excuses, the many, many lame excuses that we come up with, and try and understand the source of those excuses, and to also understand the impact that these excuses have on stealing our future and stealing the opportunities that we have to live the life that we deserve and we desire. And the author then goes on, and we start getting a bit powerful now in terms of what the learnings are from this book, because she says that there are two types of people in the world, and I think you probably know what we're going to say now, but the two types of people in the world are the people who are judges and the people who are encouragers. So just take a moment to sit and think, who in your life is truly an encourager? Somebody who cajoles you, pushes you along, pulls you along, gets you to do things. And who are those people who are drainers, who just drain the living daylights out of you and will judge everything you do and basically put a spin on it, a negative spin, to make you feel bad about yourself. But the author here reminds us and tells us, and this is something that I really, really love, and she says that be aware that the judges will judge you negatively no matter what you do and how you do it. They've already made their mind up about you. All right, and this is really powerful. the judges have already made up their mind about you, and regardless of what you do, they're going to judge you negatively, because that's what judges do. People who are judges are the ones who are always going to be negative and always putting a negative spin on what others do for various reasons. So stop worrying about the judges in our lives. Just don't worry about them, because the author says, and I agree with this, is that you're never ever to you as well, you're never ever going to gain favour in their eyes, regardless of what you do. Regardless of what you do for them, regardless of what you do for other people around you, they're always going to be looking for something negative to say about you, to you and about you. So don't even try to get them to be a supporter or to like you, is the bottom line. I like that, because just like what's that show on TV? The Voice. Just like The Voice, the judges in your life are never ever going to spin around in their chair and press your button of approval. So just take it on board and just know that you're going to have some dickheads in your life who are going to be judges and are never going to be a supporter or an encourager of you. So the next point that the author goes on to is to say that we need to learn to make our dreams reality, and we do that by having the right habits, the skills, which are the foundations of our success, and to depend on ourselves. The big point that we all need to understand, especially women, is that throughout history there are very, very few examples of where well-behaved women actually make history. Something to dwell on, something to think about. In order to stand out, you need to break free of your mold, and to do things a little bit differently so that you can make a difference, and as we said, so you can stand out. So we'll finish off this book here. The author talks about the importance of learning and standing up and shouting out, that you need to stop asking permission, because nobody's going to give you the permission to be who you want to be and who you're intended to be, other than yourself. Even your parents, your grandparents, your partner, your children. In many ways, they're going to be working against you. Now it's up to you to unleash the you in you. So stop asking, stop seeking permission from those around you if you are going to achieve the greatness that you need to achieve. But the advice from the author is to do one goal at a time, and she offers some advice in terms of the 10-10-1 principle, in terms of how to get the most out of your life. Never heard of the 10-10-1 before, first heard of it today, but I like it and I want to pass it on to you. So the 10-10-1 basically is to sit down and think of your future, and think of how you would love or how you want your life to be 10 years from now. And once you imagine, you can visualize how your ideal life will be 10 years from now, the author then says to us that what we need to do is to sit down and figure out what are the 10 goals. What are the 10 things that we need to do to get to that vision, to get to that ideal life that we want to enjoy? And once you have those 10 dreams, those 10 things that you think will contribute to your ideal life 10 years from now, then the author says that out of those 10 things, you need to focus on one, just one thing, and make it your goal, and just do whatever you have to do to get started now and make it happen, because you can only do one thing at a time. So the 10-10-1 is a powerful tool for all of us, regardless of whatever age we are, to incorporate in our lives. So there you go. Thank you very much for joining me on this Friday. We've got a weekend coming up. Hopefully it'll be a little drier than what it's been during the week. And thank you for joining me on this book summary, this journey, which is entitled Girl, Stop Apologising by Rachel Holis. I want to wish everybody Christos Anesti, which we will continue to say for 40 days up until Ascension Thursday. It's tradition, and it keeps our Christian faith alive by doing so. And it's pretty obvious why we do it. And to say, let's help each other get through the morning, get through the day, get through our lives. Let's be the wind beneath our wings, the zephyr that bellows our sails and flutters our flags. Not much of a wind today. Let's be the waves beneath our boards that keeps us buoyant and keeps us floating. And also, let's be the propeller, the turbines that churn the waters and push us in the direction that we need to be heading in order to achieve our dreams, our ideal life. So Yassas, let's live, learn and pass it on. Have a wonderful Friday. Philakia, and I hope to come to you again over and over again over the next, I think it's about 23 days now, where I really need to hammer down hard and do 5 vlogs a day in order to get to my 1,000. And I'm going to get there, God willing. I've set myself a goal. It was a massive goal. I guarantee that there are not too many people who could do what I've done, but I've just had this drive. I don't know where it's come from. It's an act of love, where I just feel so energized. I get up in the morning and I stay up late at night, and I've been consistently working at this for the past 12 months, ever since COVID hit our shores and caused the massive disruption that it did. I've been on my path and I've been doing this. So Yassas, take care. Philakia once again, and I'll come to you from a different location with a different message later on this morning. Bye for now, and ciao for now.